One, two, three. You are live, ma'am. You can start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to Director Ma'am, the admission team present here, and the aspirants and their parents. A warm welcome to the admission webinar for 3 years LLB and 1 year LLM admission process 2023. This webinar aims at giving you all an insight about the Symbiosis Law School Pune and the admission process for the two programs, that is the 3 years LLB and 1 year LLM program. At the end, we'll be taking up the queries that you all have. To begin with, I would now like to take this honor to introduce our director, Dr. Shashikala Gurpur ma'am. Dr. Shashikala Gurpur is the Dean of Faculty of Law, Symbiosis Law School, Faculty of Law, Symbiosis International Deemed University, Pune, and the Director of Symbiosis Law School, Pune. Dr. Gurpur is a Fulbright scholar and a Jean Monnet Chair Professor. Dr. Gurpur has a teaching experience of more than 26 years in the institutes like NLSIU Bangalore, SDM Law College Bangalore, Manipal Institute of Communication Mahe Manipal, University College Cork, Ireland. She has delivered over 225 invited lectures, workshops, and seminars in prestigious universities. Madam is a pioneer in EU legal studies in India. Dr. Shashikala Gurpur is the recipient of several distinct honors, awards, and recognition for her contribution in legal education and community outreach program. In recognition of her contribution to the Indian Legal Academia, she was listed in the book 100 Legal Luminaries of India by LexisNexis. Dr. Gurpur has also been conferred with the prestigious annual Kittur Rani Chinnamma Award by the Government of Karnataka, India in 2018 for her work towards the empowerment of women. Apart from being a member of Curriculum Development Committee, member of Indian Law Institute, Dr. Gurpur is a member of International Advisory Board of the Center for Common Law in Europe, UCD Sutherland School, Ireland, to facilitate creation of research platform whose outreach extends to universities, research centers located in other common law jurisdictions. I would now like to invite Dr. Gurpur to present the webinar. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, Professor Richa. Thank you for that generous introduction. We are going to share ideas and update information and answer queries, if any, with the aspirants for 3-year LLB and LLM program. As you all know that 3-year LLB program is meant for the graduates and LLM program is meant for those who have graduated in law. At the outset, first of all of you will be applying to this law school because you are very clear about the brand value of this law school, the importance of earning your degree from here in terms of your career, as much as career in terms of developing your potential for a very, very glowing career, the kind of personality development that you have, especially in terms of law learning, the expertise that you are going to gain from here. So more than getting the job, being job ready is the focus that we have. More than the word job, I would use the word profession ready, because first of all, those who come to learn law are coming to be trained as professionals. So how our profession becomes relevant in various human operations is something that we have carefully studied and designed our entire curriculum in terms of capacity building and competence building throughout your life cycle here, whether it is for 1 year or 3 years. I'm very happy some of you are gritting there. I hope you will make it in this, withstanding this all India level entrance test. Before we embark on these details, which you would have watched when we did our earlier webinar in general for all aspirants, I would like to re-emphasize here. Today, at least after the 5-year law course results were announced just a few days ago, in terms of the score in the entrance examination, we have had at least 200 to 300 applications saying, I scored well, but because I didn't register for the institute, my candidacy is not considered. They tell me, they write to me, they write to the university, they write to our chancellor, but our system just locks if you don't apply for the institute. And we have seen that there are many amongst you also who have paid the fee and registered for the exam, but you have not, or you have registered for the institute for the program, but you have not paid the necessary fee. We urge that you pay, otherwise the system doesn't finalize your candidacy and you will not be allowed to appear for the process. And our deadlines are closing in within a week. So that is why we thought this webinar is a must to tell you the importance of that. We suddenly decided to give this webinar based on our experience in the undergraduate program, where we also regret students who have scored 95 percentile, etc., are not able to be taken for competing for the next phase of personal interview and essay writing, precisely because they did not pay. So just 1,000 or 2,000 should not come in the way of your hard work to enter this prestigious institute on the competency basis and on the competent basis, competing with other peers across the country. So just a minute. I think there is, just give me a minute. Yeah. So to start with, I would like to share with you why this law school. I know that you all have already been familiar. You have been studying the details, the course details, the admission details, etc. But just to update your memory, which you would have had from the website or from your own information base, I would like to play this slide, which is talking about the key highlights of what are the best practices that we have. Whether you are in 3-year LLB or one of the specializations in 1-year LLM course, we are very particular about cascading our best practices from the 5-year program. First of all, these best practices include our strengths in curricular aspect, and when developing the curriculum in a very systematic way, we engage our stakeholders. I must tell you that we are the very first law institute in India, which has got 28 courses in the European legal studies. It was possible only because we followed the templates and systems and norms of the European Union's prestigious age-old universities. Some of the universities with whom we collaborated are some of the top 10 universities in the world. So we have all those best practices incorporated into the process and structure of our institute, in developing a curriculum, in reviewing a curriculum, in benchmarking it with the best, in seeing that our curriculum is viewed by our employers and experts in the country, including some of the alumni. And secondly, we as institute, with the team of faculty, supported by a team of student researchers, we engage in giving advice to the government, in reforming the law, in making the policy. For example, the E-Committee of Supreme Court has been constantly seeking feedback from us because current Chief Justice of India was also on a board of studies for a while, and sir knows our research strengths. Large number of students have interned. One of the 3-year law course products, whose photo I'm going to beam with you, he had been the researcher with the Chief Justice then of India. And some of our old students, girl students, also have been recruited in trilegal and other places following robust internships. And some of our LLM students, before they could finish their LLM degree, they were already selected as magistrates, or judges. And then we ensure that the best students are admitted because we have a very meritocratic, merit-centric process. We have a structured feedback system about how the classes are running, how the students are coping at 3 levels. One is at the level of mentee talking to the mentor teacher. Second is at the level of mentor teacher bringing it to the deputy director and director. Third is we verify it further in the open house. Then we see that it is incorporated into the teacher feedback. It is incorporated into the curriculum development. Now we have these European Union funded prestigious projects which include 21st century skills. What are the 20th century skills? In India, the debate is still on. There's no structured curriculum on that, whereas the Swiss and American and other boards have that. So we have developed a module in collaboration with our European partners. We already have rolled it out as part of our methodology class, of which our LLMs are the first beneficiaries. We also have Jean Monnet Chair in Climate Law, Justice Management and Policy. We have the Climate Change Law Policy Project, where again we have university collaboration, which will be resulting in climate change law policy center in the institute. Collaborating with the 21st year skill, it will also roll out many LLM specializations and LLM quality learning alongside LLB quality learning and other 5-year law course program wherever relevant. In this slide, you are also seeing a part where we are consistently ranked as a topmost private law school and among the top 3 law schools in the country. 2022 in the national ranking, we finished as the 3rd, missing the 1st and 2nd by a whisker. That shows how our integrity is, highest standards of learning is. And being in the city of Pune, we are competing with law schools which are in the bigger metropolitan cities with the bigger access to higher level of judicial and legal manpower. So that shows something magical that is happening here in terms of teachers and students. It is also reflected in our products. Next slide, please. Now, the next slide will further highlight how you are learning and teaching here. I would urge that both LLM and LLB students take this seriously. You are going to invest money. You are going to make here after a lot of competition with your peers across the country. So involve in those opportunities that college provides, which you would have missed in your undergraduate days, 2 years because of COVID, and other than that, maybe because of the kind of colleges approaches that you might have experienced. So be a very disciplined student and just inundate yourself with the new knowledge and expertise which is available prosperously in the walls of this institute, within the walls of this institute, like boardroom simulation. You simply don't learn about corporate law, but you sit and do the job of a law expert there, how that law expert works in a real life situation of company in taking decisions. And then we have a museum within our fold, which is holding Government of India's Ambedkar chair, and Ambedkar's relics are remaining here. That is an experience. Other than that, we hold learning beyond classroom by public lectures. We had Nobel laureate Shri Kailas Satyarthi talking to us, aside from many other seasoned bureaucrats talking to us under the aegis of B.G. Deshmukh Memorial Lecture. We have online teaching, 30% of up to 30% of teaching and additional teaching, value-added courses, etc., are going to enrich you. We have had international collaborative online learning program based on thematic learning among many universities, where our team was led by Professor Lasya, among others. We also have one unique program which both LLM and LLB students are exposed. A professor from Cornell University or a lawyer of top standing with Harvard or other training in legal writing comes here and teaches legal writing and thinking like lawyer kind of skills. And then we also look at whether students have attained the learning levels and what kind of a product we are bringing out from this college. We assess it in our term end examination, in our internal examination. So we align our assessment process to the kind of product that we want to create and also review our teaching from that point of view. One of the nice things that you will experience here, in addition to what all I have told, critical thinking skills being enriched with the Socratic and Indian knowledge system methods as well, among other things, and learning with the peers, and academically differently able to students will be supported by academic excellence program. Therefore, this is one institute where we are absolutely student-centric. Let's go to the next slide. Because we believe that it is through them that we speak, it is for them that we work. In internationalization, it is a challenge for any law school because law is always bound up with the nationality. In internationalization, we have achieved many strides. Collaborations are one, then aligning with the global standards of sustainable development, developing joint JDE program with University of Arizona, which may qualify students to learn there and appear for bar or aspire for legal careers there to begin with. We are members of prestigious bodies across the world. We have facilitated faculty mobility through the German exchange program for PhD and also for semester exchange. We have had exclusive clinical writing course. So 10 parameters of mobility, student mobility, faculty mobility, content creation, joint curriculum, exchanges, membership, in every internationalization at home, where students who don't get the opportunity to go abroad and study, how do we build on our collaboration to make them feel Harvard or Cambridge or Europe or Australia or New Zealand within the classroom here? That kind of avenue also you will see here. Next slide, please. So other than the two strongest avenues of curriculum and internationalization, where you see some of the images of these prestigious professors who are deans and directors and specialists and lawyers who have come from Germany, America, and also from New Zealand, who have been part and parcel of a faculty team. Let's go to the next one. And one of them there was a judge, Judge Tiffany, who has been one of our faculty. The third one here. Now, some of the success formulae of our reputation and branding could be attributed to our approach in terms of, the international competition like criminal trial advocacy competition, completely conceived by our students. And then you have Model United Nations, which has been one of the best in the country, which ends up attracting large number of candidates with our festival, Simba, in the side wings it happens. Our annual research conference attracts large footprints, including 100 plus papers, and it is tied up with Scopus journals, to mention a few. This year's conference also, for the first time, it moved out of online to become a hybrid and mostly offline. Attracted many scholars as guests, as speakers, as referees, and also articles from across the world. Let's go to the next. The success formulae, you will see another point aside from curriculum, internationalization, and this point is community legal service. So in our community legal service, you will see our collaboration with the district court. And I'm very happy to share with you that for consecutively second time, we won the Government of India's Ministry of Law and Justice grant to run our pro bono club and Nyaya Bandhu program, with which we collaborate with the mental health hospital of the government, prisoners and prisons, and district Lok Adalat, which is a large mela of settlement of disputes to the tune of 1 lakh, where our panels come from our faculty and volunteers and file handlers are our students. So in that way, we strengthen the justice system. We just simply don't remain within the classroom. Let's go to the next one. Now, this is the statistics many of you have been asking for or looking for. This statistics is about placement. And you would see that from the year 2017, we always give you 5 years. We have had a whopping number of placements coming in our way, and name any top tier law firm, we have had students being selected. And although large number of these placements go in favor of 5-year law course, there are very unique placement initiatives which go in favor of LLMs, and in favor of 3 years, mostly rare, like let us say there are 10 jobs coming from top tier law firms, at least one will go in favor of 3 years. Corporate jobs also go in favor of 3 years, but larger percentage of 3 years also aim at higher studies, judiciary, and legal practice from the family, or they may directly go to the Supreme Court and practice. I have one student now who is already empaneled in the Supreme Court, and he is on the track to become an advocate on record. We produced 5 advocates on record in last 1 year. So here also you will see the number of internships, number of placements over a period of time has drastically increased. Companies providing opportunity also, the number of companies have increased year on year. Our aim is to provide every year double the numbers. We are working very hard because you have only so much of a pie and so many law schools are vying for that pie. Let's go to the next slide, please. And then also, because I had a personal background in HR, we have a way of presenting our strengths We have to wade our way through variety of priorities that employers have. We can't choose, they choose. Therefore, we try to convince them. And now we are also looking at technologically equipping our students. We are moving more and more into artificial intelligence, media related law and things like that. You would see there, very heartened to see that such advanced technology and media related teams are supported by women professionals. Most of them are our old students. And you see here scenes from our law theater, which is a prestigious event where all students participate in small, big roles. You'll see all editions of them, which is an innovation we have on YouTube. So please check that. And our this year Simba also registered a huge footfall with an artist like Mohit Chavan coming here. Let's go to the next slide. Here is a slide which is showing you why and how we are innovative in terms of academics and quality. Our best practices, I already told you. Student care is in focus, so you see their academic success, their personalized care, in crisis, supporting them through the faculty and our healthcare system and sports system, etc. Placement training, and even encouraging entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur encouraging happens by identifying, by mentoring, by providing them advice from a prestigious management institute experts. It goes a long way. And in teaching and learning also, students have opportunity to learn various other courses. A lot of 3-year law course students and LLMs register for our diplomas. Then they also try to do some of the certificate programs, some of the online programs. So it's one place where you have so many ideas, a place flowing, overflowing with ideas and competent people, competent peers with whom you rub shoulders, because of which you are constantly on renewing your energies. Let's go to the next slide, please. So I would say it's a high frequency place which keeps people engaged. One of the crown jewel that we have in our institute is our Center for Advanced Legal Studies and Research. In the whole university, you'll be surprised to know that rubbing shoulders with the medical, biotech and engineering research centers, we have the Law Research Center. So that shows the research focus, interdisciplinary enrichment, and the vision that we have, and how Symbiosis' own DNA of excellence and internationalization and ever-growing innovation reflects in this experiment. So we have consolidated our master's and PhD program here, our research publications, projects, and law reform engagement with the government here, our capacity building initiatives, consultations, and not only consultations in terms of industry and community relevance, but also to other institutes. So we roll out law courses for 8 other faculties of our university. We are the ones who rolled out the IP cell, and the first 10 patents from the university came out under our leadership because we had 2 very strong IP qualified faculty on our payroll. So a lot of my 3-year law course products also have gone in the IP way, being inspired by such expertise that we have. Next slide, please. If you look at the faculty profile also, the number of faculty we have now, it has crossed to 53. And I've got qualifications ranging from journalism to IP attorney to PhD, and I myself have been a Fulbrighter. So there is a very rich faculty profile. What you see here is at least the numbers have increased. At least 50% of the faculty have had international exposure through one or another program that we have, one or another collaboration we have. Numbers have remained little stagnated due to COVID, but again they have picked up. This year we have had 2 faculty going, 2 more are lined up to go. Next slide, please. 1 year LLM program profile. Against the backdrop of this, if you see, we started it in 2013 within 2 months of the announcement by UGC of this possibility, because we were asked and we were waiting and we had partners all over the world. Now we are looking at exploration of our LLM students having the possibility with the collaborative institutes to have a semester or dissertation period to spend with the other institutes, which is always open, but due to COVID, it slowed down. Today, we have 8 specializations. We are going to introduce 2 more next year. This year, we are looking at business law, constitutional law, innovation technology and IP law, criminal law and security law, human rights law, law policy and governance, family law, and then EU law and international law. I must tell you, product from each of this is bearing testimony to the possibility of strong careers, multiple careers, diverse careers. You can't say that only business law people enter the law firm. We have had security law people also entering the law firm. So such is the training that we give. So let's go to the next slide. So you would be very happy to see that profile. If you look at the unique features, one is internationally trained faculty members and international faculty coming online and sharing ideas with you. Unique competency for judiciary, industry, academia, and profession, where people qualify as lawyers and judges. One of my students, she even qualified to the national level UPSC related competency exam. When I asked her, she said that her motivation was always there from her 12th standard itself. Special emphasis we have where students get to publish with the faculty in Scopus or Web of Science. So this year also I had 2 students completing NET exam as they were doing LLM, because we have this orientation and ecosystem. We have very structured skill development with the Symbiosis Skill Center, Symbiosis Legal Skill Center, which is training with the metric that we have in a gradual way. Some of you who come from the law schools which have taught law as academic subject, you will really gain here, because our LLM evaluation is correlated to the skill acquisition and skill exhibition. Mapping of the courses with these sessions, and then giving opportunity, mandatory it is, mock teaching, dissertation, viva voce, and research methods are something that you do not see. It's a very strong blend of critical thinking skill, which is very important in the 21st century. And comprehensive internationalization and collaboration give you exposure, opportunity, choices. LLM students also have traveled. Next slide, please. So the orientation and pedagogy is the class happens with the seminar method, where you jointly create content with the teachers. Reflective thinking, Socratic method is used, field visit is used, computer-assisted learning is very strong, and experiential learning in terms of your internship being brought to the learning, research internships, etc. If you look at the research orientation, which should be the hallmark of any law learning, and in the masters more so, you will see that we compel students to publish. So large number of Scopus publications come, or they start developing. Standardized, we have standardized our system and courses, and then you just see that bar diagram there. In Scopus, if you look at 2020, when we had 13 articles from LLM, 6 in UGC journal, and you see in 2022, 19 in Scopus and 9 in UGC journal. And with the faculty, when they do research internships in their inter-semester break also, these publications emerge. And then in dissertation also, we have milestones identified. It's a very structured process that happens. Therefore, no students remain behind. If I have 80 students or 70 students in 7 specializations, seldom people become backloggers, because such is the personal attention that is given. Next slide, please. And career revenues, if you see our old students, you will see them in a range of places, ranging from foreign PhD to corporate lawyering to government jobs to legal professionals, law firm jobs, consultancy services, judiciary, JRFs. My LLM products are sought after in all universities, National Law School, Bangalore, Jindal. Name the places which are interested in research, they ask for Symbiosis LLM. And Indian Army also, we have had students as JAG officers. And then in academics, many have come. 2 have joined us also as teachers. Almost 1 or 2 join in every batch in Symbiosis Law School as teaching assistants or fully fledged assistant professors, or some qualify within 6 months to 1 year to become fully fledged assistant professors, with the ecosystem that we have, with the challenges that they respond to. Let's go to the next slide. Now, some of our star alumni in LLM, if you see, I have Advocate Rahul Kothari, who was our old student, who was a practicing lawyer, corporate lawyer, and then he became our student and he did extremely well. Advocate Vishal Dhawan, who is our 3-year product, who is an entrepreneur and did his LLM, and now he's pursuing his PhD. Ms. Suman Mishra was one of our star students who was the gold medalist. Now she has become associate vice president. Now, I still remember I used to go to the LLM class, and Suman had unusual capacity to spot the issues in case laws, etc. Harleen Zait has become the legal manager in Bajaj. Madhavi Datta is a senior associate in J. Sagar Associates. And then Pallavi Neha Reddy is legal associate. One of our gold medalists in LLM also became, I'm so proud to share with you, she became a judge. I'll show you her photograph. In judicial and civil services, we had Saleh Ahmed, Madhuri Gote, then we had Rachit Trivedi, Miss Ravneet, so she was the gold medalist also, Jitendra Palibal. All these have become judges. Academics and policy research, if you see, we have such great prestigious evolution of kids happening here. I should mention Saravanan, who came from a remote place in Tamil Nadu, who ended up as our researcher. Then he enters IIT Kharagpur, finishes his PhD, becomes assistant professor in IIM Indore, and currently he is in IIM Ahmedabad. So that is the growth trajectory, phenomenal. And Namrata Chakravarti became campaign manager in Political Action Committee. But that is an NGO one. But Miss Henemal Vaidya has made us very proud by becoming the solicitor in Canada, and she has finished her master's in Canada, and she's a multifarious kind of person. She has established her own henna language school besides other things, and now she is into international student recruitment. Let's go to the next slide. So these star alumni photographs you will be happily partaking. Vishwesh was our LLM student, LLB from National Law School. He is the crusader for disability rights. Vishwesh also became a very, very important voice for the disabled. In his PhD, he went at the UN as well. And civil services exam also was cleared by Sharmishta Datta, who is our alumna. So these commendable achievements like Saurabh Ajay Gupta from the FIRE program, they have become government officials. So we have this kind of credential to our institute. Let's go to the next one. If you ask these students, all of them will tell you that although they had that capacity, many of them built their capacity by coming here and being in this ecosystem. In LLM admission process, let us remind you, 25th June is going to be the online home practiced mode kind of exam, almost a month from now, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's a written test. So you will be having a whole set of objective questions followed by essay subjective questions, which will test your research aptitude, teaching aptitude, law aptitude, legal knowledge. So your undergraduate courses knowledge should be sufficient. And questions from areas of methodology, legal reasoning, legal aptitude, jurisprudence, constitutional law, Indian Penal Code, public international law, human rights, corporate law, including Contract Act, Companies Act, family law, and environmental law. So 70% weightage is given to this test, in which we have 40 marks, 20 objective questions of 40 marks, and 3 subject questions of 30 marks. In subjective questions, we may give some choice also. In online personal interaction, we give 30% weightage. In that, certain marks are allocated for your percentages, your co-curricular, extracurricular, mooting achievements, your statement of purpose. If at all you had work experience, that also counts. And we interview you, we ask you questions. Based on that, we give marks for your personal attribute. Maximum minute of interaction you are given is only 10 minutes per candidate. I hope you can take a look at it and remind yourself of the days. Test is on the 25th June. Personal interaction is on the 8th and 9th July. So there is a substantial amount of time in between. Let's go to the next slide. We have to now focus on our 3-year LLB products. 3-year LLB products will have almost a similar set of skills which our 5-year LLB products have. Although the number of years they spend in sharpening their legal skills are 2 years less than the 5 years, but it is more intense. So in quality and with the personal initiative and hard work, you can, if not outsmart, you can be equal to the 5-year product, but that takes very high degree of motivation and availability in the college and 100% compliance to the formula of success that we have shared with you. Unfortunately, people take it easy because of some of the unlearning that you don't do from your undergraduate days, because law is one area which is like an ocean. You have to take dip. You can take dip in the ocean and you will understand only ocean as an idea. But if you really swim in the ocean, to swim in the ocean, you have to know the ocean. So this is one thing that we insist on you, all the aspirants. What you invest only you get back, like the laundry. So please don't waste your time, and please make best use of your time. Spend maximum time in the institute and make use of the internship opportunities to develop. Let's go to the next slide. Now, uniqueness of a 3-year LLM program, LLB program is specialized mood training, as I told you. JD program with the joint program, you can always go to Arizona, some of you who are interested. Participation in semester exchange, summer schools and study tours. Large number of students keep going this year. Some 3-year students are lined up to go to Leiden in a summer school. Placements in top law firms, government departments, clerking. We make all these opportunities available to you based on your interest and choice. Let's go to the next slide, please. So orientation is all the 5-year law programs best practices are cascaded to you also, like reflective thinking, project-based learning, computer-assisted, experiential, group learning, case analysis, Socratic method, to mention a few, to supplement the class teaching. Let's go to the next slide. Now, in innovative approach, which you don't see in many law schools, is judgment writing, article writing, reviewing judgments, part of your process. In assessment also, you have that. Problem solving exercises, simulation like moot court, mock trial, boardrooms, group discussions, drafting project, and simulation. These are part of your learning, just like how 5-year law program people are trained. I'm sure that, next slide, students who are trained here, if you compare yourself with the 3-year program products elsewhere, you will see a difference. Now, if you see in last 5 years, the number of placements that we have availed in banking, we have had large number. Corporate has been maximum number. Law firm is the maximum number. And then insurance sector, litigation sector, NGO sector. Of course, we did not add academics because it takes a long haul. So because after LLB, you have to do LLM. And in 3-year LLB, what we have seen is that guidance for judicial services is also coming in your way. Doing foreign LLM is possible for you. So all the strengths of this institute are open to you. It is for you to decide, choose, and invest your energies. Next slide, please. Look at these star alumna. Of course, Preeti Kavilakatta, one of our first batch after we revived 3-year LLB in 2014. Preeti finished her LLB here, then she went to Nalsar, finished her LLM, came back to join us as a faculty. Vishal is a case where he finished LLB, moved on to LLM, and now he's doing PhD. And if you look at Mr. Ravi Kumar, he was attracted to this 3-year LLB as a student, and he runs a huge enterprise, Udchalo, and then which appoints more than 400 people. And then Advocate Kaustubh, who used to be the topper in his LLB program, clerked with the Chief Justice of India, and now he is running his own law practice. So these very clearly show how we attract best talents and the kind of peer group that you have. Let's go to the next one. In 3-year LLB also, we have got national level admission test. So your written test will be at home proctored, online, and 10 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. on the 24th of June. We are looking at a subjective descriptive answer to essay topics, which are socio-legal, political, legal, or current, where we give 2 subjective questions for 20 marks, so 40 marks. And this whole writing sample is for 65 minutes. And then the paper has a second component, which is objective questions for 20 marks, 10 questions and 20 marks, which may be relating to legal general knowledge, current affairs, and English language. After that, there is a 20 minutes, 10 marks psychometric test, where we test what kind of a personality you are, because we want highly ethical people. Especially, you are not entering at a tender age of 17, you are rather entering after graduation. So you would have learned certain good practices, certain bad practices. So those bad practices become risky in a professional setting of law. Therefore, we want to know how you have that psychometric side. And then we want to mold that part, because today in profession, soft skills play a key role. Therefore, this test is very important for us. Online personal interaction will happen in the month of July between 5th and 6th. And then it is to test your personal attribute, your fitment to SLS Pune's culture, work experience, global outlook, professionalism, ethics. And we also will look at a statement of purpose. We will ask for some reference also. So you will get only 10 minutes for interaction. And for this interaction, we have kept 30 marks. So 70 plus 30. 70 is for the written part, 30 is for the interaction part. I'm sure that this is something that you will look forward to. Let's go to the next slide. So important dates we want you to remember. We are already at the second stage, where in between first and second stage. So please hurry to close your online application. Both LLM and LLB students, we urge you to close your online application with the payment on the 13th June. You miss it, then your admit card will not be issued. You miss it, you will not be in. Afterwards, don't regret and tell us that I applied, but I didn't pay. Therefore, I forgot. Can I pay now? We won't allow that on the day. On the spot registrations are not for a prestigious law college. And then personal interaction dates, please remember LLBs 5th and 6th, LLMs 8th and 9th. And then we have, before that proctor test 24th June for LLBs, 25th June for LLMs, and personal interaction 5th and 6th for LLBs, 8th and 9th for LLMs. First merit list 14th July and 21st July it closes for the LLBs. 17th July it announces, and 24th it closes for the LLMs. And opening of the new program for 3-year LLB is on the 28th July. And then, commencement is on the 31st July for both the programs. So opening of the second merit list before that happens on the 28th July. It may continue when you are in, few more classmates may join till the 7th August. Usually we don't have the necessity for the second list, but if at all it happens also, we have ensured that they don't miss much classes. So that is the story of the life cycle of your batch, and also the importance of this program. Now, a lot of questions which have been asked in the survey by all of you as a special need questions, we have answered in this slide, I suppose. If you have any more questions, it could come. Also, the moderators like Professor Richa, Dr. Arya, or Dr. Shelke can read out these questions and we can invite attention to the relevant information. Thank you for your patient and interesting participation. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come to you and also to serve you if everything goes okay when you're selected. We'll be very much looking forward to working with you for great legal world in this country and for excellent resource for legal profession and to take the legal education and legal profession to the level of excellence. Is it necessary to obtain reference letters from previous university if many years have passed? Yes, I would say. There may be new occupant, but I'm sure that they will always give the reference by verifying their records that you have studied there. During the PI, statement of purpose and letter of recommendation. Letter of recommendation is by the head of the institute from where you have graduated and a person known to you from the institute. And the statement of purpose is what do you want to achieve in your life overall? And what is it that you want to achieve through this law degree? What has been your trend and trajectory so far? The purpose of your life. It's very simple. Purpose can be defined as overall purpose from your background, the purpose that you want to achieve out of your choice, and how you are going to align this law degree and why Symbiosis and why this law degree. So some of these questions are quite interesting. Now the fee structure has already been announced, Tina. Why do you ask that question again and again? So fee structure, if you want again to be repeated, because Indians seem to be comfortable in more being told than reading. I don't know if we have it in our slides. Fee structure, I don't think Akshara's mail has got fee structure. So Richa, can you announce the fee structure there? And for LLM, she's asking.
Yes, ma'am. One.
We don't have a slide on that. Is it necessary to obtain reference rate? I told you yes. LOR and statement of purpose, I told you. Is there a practice test paper set for AIAT? No, we don't have practice test paper. We told you what is the coverage. So there are many guidebooks, etc., for municipal exam and for UPSC exam. So the relevant content that we have told you, like human rights, environmental law, contract law, criminal law, constitutional law, you can, public international law, you can check sample questions from there. What is the exam pattern and syllabi for LLM? We have already answered this question. Exam pattern consists of two parts, set of objective questions and then essay questions. And then there is personal interview, and syllabus content also has been told. And this webinar PPT will be available. And where can we access mock test or get model paper? We don't announce or we don't give any from our side also. You can generally play by the resources which are available in the market. Now, somebody is asking, now regarding the question, please read the chat line. Fee structure for LLM, Professor Shelke and Dr. Professor Akshara have made it visible. LLM, it is per annum 1,83,000 along with the 10,000 refundable deposit. Whereas in LLB, the fee structure is 2,75,000 along with 20,000 refundable deposit. And then there is a question, is there any scholarship program based on entrance test? Sorry, if you are a topper in the entrance test, then there is a certain amount of fee waiver which is given, which is about 50% for one candidate as the topper. Transfer certificate required only? Yes, it's a university requirement, migration or transfer certificate. From when offline classes will commence, I have already told you, 27 July. Then there is someone who is asking a question. Who is this? What are the topics that needs to be covered under social legal, political legal for 3-year LLB? Simple topics. You can imagine in recent years what legal changes have happened. Now same-sex marriage is one issue which is doing rounds at the national level. I'm giving example. There's no guarantee that will come. Past company letter of recommendation of work. No, we are asking institute. Because your company can be many. Reference letter on the written test examination or after written examination. On the day before you appear for the interview, we ask you to upload the documents. So be ready for that. How will subjective question test be held in an online mode? You will be typing your answers. Simple. Question will be there and you type your answers online. And okay, all these questions we have answered. Somebody was asking about engineering degree. I'm a BTech graduate. What is the mode of exam? We told for both LLM and LLB, mode of exam is online and then followed by personal interview. I'm a BTech graduate, but I have interest in law. It's a very different, not at all. Logic is the same. Problem solving capacity is the same. In fact, engineers have done extremely well in law. I showed you that boy Kaustubh, he's an engineer. Mr. Ravi is an engineer. Mr. Vishal is an engineer. Most of the engineers who have joined law school, they have never regretted. In fact, Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan's senior IP guy, Mr. Vaidya, was telling me, ideally engineers always go for MBA. They must come to law because law is the right logic for engineers. So I don't mean to advertise it for engineers, but what I would like to say is it's a good qualification in your kitty, which will help you to serve the nation, not only through your technical expertise, but also in terms of problem solving and justice creation. As such, engineering curriculum does not teach about these justice and liberal values, etc. So that can also enrich in your personality. As such, I have understood legal discipline is very close to profound effect on personality. So at least from that point of view, please do it. Placements for LLM, can you repeat? Please read the slide again. We will be making it available for you. We have had strongest placements in the area of judiciary and academics. And rest of the placements came in corporates, in practice, and many other job avenues. Are there any direct admissions taken? No, not at all. You have seen the ads in Symbiosis College. I don't know which Symbiosis they refer to, but we don't do any direct admission. You don't appear for the test, you are not in it. Then even if you get 10 marks in the test, it's very important you appear for the test because that is the UGC mandate. We can't suggest any book. Boys hostel situation is unclear from the website. Enough occupancy. Definitely, there are within the college limited occupancy program wise. At least 1/3 of you may get, but rest of you have plenty of private hostel providers, and we make available the list of hostels, or you can also find out from online. Then I would like to ask whether obtaining LLM in criminal and security law or in personal law would be a problem when we sit in the placement opportunities. Depends on what kind of placement. If law firm and company, if you have taken, see, this is one misleading notion that all the students have. They would have taken LLB from the institutes which teach in a certain way, which train you in a certain way, which may not or may expose you in a limited way. And then you suddenly expect a miracle to happen when you come to Symbiosis with Symbiosis Thappa of an LLM. That doesn't happen. You have to have the skills to match with the expectation of the employer. We don't prevent you from presenting because we circulate the opportunities, and when you apply, we send your profile. But the minute that employer puts his hand, or his HR head puts her hand on the graduation you have had, your grade on graduation, the kind of moves you have done, the kind of additional certifications you have had, earlier job experiences, your voluntary spirit, your international exposure, it will decide. So it is, your preparation meeting the opportunity that Symbiosis provides. It's not Symbiosis creating destiny like an overnight, that magical palace. So please remember that. I would like to ask whether obtaining or much weightage will be given to students. No, I have had students of BA LLB honors getting better corporate placements than BBA LLB honors. It's personality, the way you have invested, the way you have built your profile. So study on LinkedIn, the successful corporate leaders profile, if that's your goal. Have a goal, have a mentor, have a role model, and study their journey and develop your journey blueprint. All details are mentioned in the website as far as other details are concerned. Professor is telling there, so please follow that. SOP uploaded after or before AI80? Definitely before AI80, because we need to have your files made. It's all online transaction. That's the reason. I'm sure our people would have asked you your doubts and nobody responded. And today, all of a sudden, 50 people are writing 50 questions and repeating. How many marks are required to secure? Marks where? You mean in the entrance exam? 80%. And if you're talking about your percentage in undergraduate, we go by your available best marks. And there, if you score more than 80%, you will get full marks meant for your academic scores. If it is less than 80%, then like that proportionately, you will get less. So in the 30 that is reserved for interview, you will not have more than 5 as far as your earlier grades or earlier education percentage is concerned. Rest of the marks come from your interview performance, from your co-curricular, extracurricular, etc. Will there be a webinar for 5 years? We have already done it, and the admission is on. Results have been announced. Now selected candidates will come and start their career with us. Then there is a question. It's quite difficult to move. Somebody is asking, can you please tell the right process to achieve? Because in some colleges, LLM is not mandatory. So 3-year and 5-year. So is LLM mandatory? If yes, certain colleges are offering 2-year LLM, waste of time. So broad answer for this. See, seeking an LLM qualification is for 2 purposes. If your undergraduate degree was not Bar Council itself confesses it, that in India, more than 1,500 law colleges are there, And these law colleges are at different stages of evolution, to put it in a very intellectual fashion. As a result, the products of these law schools may be good. They would have been exposed to the same industrial exposure which other students do, but they may not have the right framework to absorb and then to incorporate and internalize. So coming to this kind of a law school in any degree form or diploma form gives you a kind of peer. See, they say in our ancient thinking also, they said that 25% is self, 25% is peer, 25% is teachers, and another 25 is from the outer community. In the outer community, we can include alumni, employers, your internship supervisors, and rest 3 facets of the 25 is you, your peers, your teachers. Now, this is what an educational institution composes of. So from that point of view, taking a degree in a good institution, whether in India or abroad, really contributes to your development. But if you do not, if you still have doubts and you're telling why not only LLB enough, I agree, LLB is enough. If your career goal is not to do with too much of knowledge or depth and clarity, which is like day-to-day practicing, it's fine. But if you're looking at accumulating knowledge, becoming expert, advanced expert, aiming at this stage from your taluka place to the Supreme Court place, you should know good law and deeper law. For that, this really helps. I'm sure this answer will help you. And whether it is, people say 2 years is good, and you said it is waste of time, I would say that certain universities have not allowed in through their boards 1 year LLM program, because there is a different think tank which is there. Senior teachers believe that longer you learn, you become better expert. There is a scientific proof, and I agree, but 1 year LLM is not about that. If a candidate can go abroad and do in 1 year an LLM which gives them passport to the global career, can't we Indian universities with excellence produce that kind of excellence is my challenge. So we were very happy when UGC allowed us through regulatory framework. Therefore, I would agree with you. A good LLM for 1 year could be much better than an average LLM for 2 years. And but one thing mandatory, you will have to learn 3 times more than in 2 year LLM. Therefore, your 1 year LLM could become more than 2 year LLM if you invest that kind of time and interest, and 100% attendance. Now, if students have less attendance, many MBA colleges under our banner and elsewhere in IIMs also, they will not allow them to sit for college provided placements because they are not the products that we want them to be brand ambassadors of. Therefore, investing your full time, more than, I mean, when we were students, my teachers used to say 16 hours of learning. That means 8 hours per sleep, they say. According to our teachers, even those 8 hours you have to ration for your personal need. That means you don't have a personal life when you are master's student. That is where you really learn the law. So I hope I have answered your question. How many seats are there for general category? Now, how do we say that offhand? Out of the 60 student seats that we have, about 30%, which means out of 60, 42 seats are for open category. That should be sufficient for you. And then infra readiness check is because you're doing it online, proctored from your home. So whether your laptop or personal computer matches with the bandwidth and the capability, data capability that is required to allow you to respond to this exam. That is what it is meant. So before the actual date of test, we test that. Suppose your home system, home internet, as well as your equipment are not up to the mark, then you can decide whether you should go to a service provider and do this. Now, that is what infra readiness means, because on that day, if you cry foul, it will be very difficult for us to, we don't have second examination. You may be as well getting delisted. And then PGDMR college, no, graduation college, definitely. The slide which reflected the dates, classes will be online from 31st July, hence need clarity regarding, okay, it's not online, it's offline. Then infra readiness, I told you, specific format for letter. No, the person who gives the letter of reference will reflect on your conduct, your character, your familiarity, and your duration in that college, and maybe any good qualities that they want to reflect in terms of fitment for law. What is the cutoff score? No, AIAT is different from SLAT because here AIAT itself is the final test. In SLAT, it is first test and then there is second phase. In AIAT, to qualify to the college, between 70 to 80% score is mandatory because there are only small number of places. I think most of the questions I have answered. Do LLM also have hostel accommodation? Official hostel accommodation is only for the top 2, but there are plenty of good private hostels, PG places. List is maintained by our office. You can personally visit and ask, or you can call up our service desk and ask. And then online also you can check those places. Will there be webinar? I mean, how do we get sure how do we be sure to get placement in 3 years? Answer, I told you already. Your preparation should be so good with your hard work, CV building, and then it will meet the requirement that the employer is looking for, I'm sure. So we have again reiterated offline classes from 31st July. There will be so how do we plan our academics to be sure to get a corporate placement? Please come here and learn with us. You will know. I'm pursuing, and you can also study the successful corporate profiles. You will know their journey and use our opportunity, your opportunity in life to develop such a profile. I'm confused between 5-year and 3-year. No, 5-year is not for those who are pursuing graduation. After graduation, it is 3-year LLB. If you want to quit graduation in your first year and then appear for a SLAT and come for 5 years. If you're already through first 2 years of graduation, finish it and join our 3 years. Now, no, many candidates, see, you are telling you have paid the fee, individual institution registration. You have paid the fee for the test. Individual institution, once upon a time, only Symbiosis Law School Pune was offering LLM. Today we have 3 sister institutions offering. All of us are offering. Nagpur is offering, Hyderabad is offering, Noida is offering, although their specialization ranges are limited. You have not paid fee for that specialization and program and institute. Institute and program specialization, you have to pay 1,000 rupees, which if you don't pay, when we shortlist, we don't consider your name. That is the major purpose of this webinar, to clarify, because in reading, everything doesn't get clarified. Maybe next time we'll put a video to clarify this, but this is what we want to drive home. I hope that's very clear to everybody, especially the student who asked that question. Professor Shivani has answered that question already. I repeat, individual institution registration needs to be done by paying 1,000 rupees per institution. This option is available in the registration form itself by showing your choice of institution. You can make more than one choice so that your name is there in the list by paying the requisite amount per institute. Is there any other registration? Yeah, now it is understood by you for the next questionnaire, I'm sure. And then you were asking whether before AIAT, you have to upload the program. After the AIAT, before the personal interview, you are supposed to upload your document. Somebody did the graduation from private law college. Will that have, from Delhi University, will that have negative impact? No, not at all. But it's your ethics, it's your discipline, it's your involvement, and it is the way you have invested on developing your personality which matters in your projection in the personal interview. So I think most of the questions are repetitive. Now, yes, after appearing for AIT, can I upload? We said yes, window is open. And then asking about the format also, no specific format is available. Yeah, sanction seats in 3-year LLB is only 60. Yeah, most of the questions are repetitive. So, see, difference between reference letter and statement of purpose. Statement of purpose is describing your purpose in joining Symbiosis, in doing LLB, and overall purpose in life, and what you have done so far in relation to that. We want to see how focused you are, how service oriented you are. But reference is about somebody knowing you. And that somebody should be one of the professors and necessarily the head of the institute, because that is where all your data is available as a student. So that is an authentication. No books are suggested, we can't, it's ethically wrong to ask us or us responding to you, but generally we can say that for judiciary exams, for net entrance exam, such sample questions, guidebooks are available. Besides the 2,000 rupees to the test, yes, you have to pay, we told you already, for the institute registration. So I think we have answered most of the questions. Any other questions? If you have 5 minutes, we'll wait and then we close. Even our contact mobile has been given. We say 2 reference letters, but 1 is mandatory from the head of the institute. Can you access this recording? Yes, it is available. It will be made available to you. Right? So most of the questions have been answered. The date to submit, we will be telling you when we do the infra readiness. And today also already in this chat line, we have answered. For personal introduction, see, in our law school, nobody who scores less than 70 to 80% in individual test category can come in, because such is the competition. So you were asking in PI interaction, either in LLB or LLM, we are looking at 30%. So in that 30%, at least 18 to 24 marks you should obtain. Okay. So please have your records well, have your CVs good, and have your readiness for interaction well. Our panel of experts will definitely take those things into consideration. Yeah, marks you have secured in the graduation if you're already a graduate, marks you have secured in the penultimate year if you are expecting your results. We have all categories of kids, so we will be guiding you accordingly. Yeah, more questions can be sent to these email IDs. College department head is, no, college head. What do you mean by department? I mean, if it's a huge college, yes, your law department head and then one of the professors. Yeah. Because in university, they don't call it college head. They call them, yes, principal. Yes. Or they call them director these days. So I think we have answered all the questions, and the questions are also very well focused. Thank you very much, and thank you for trusting us and also opening up. This gives us very good insight on how to improve on the process and also how to prepare for the next batch, plus how to be ready to address your needs. Thank you very much and all the best with everything. Please pay the fee and ensure your candidacy. We remind you again. All the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And all the participants, you can have access to the same video, that is the webinar's video on YouTube, and you can definitely mail your queries as on the email IDs given in the chat box as well as on our website. Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, we come to an end to this webinar, and I would like to take this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks. To begin with this, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, Madam Director, ma'am, for the detailed and insightful presentation. And I'm sure the aspirants would have got clarity about the preparation and the process of admission. Further, we are truly grateful for your leadership and management. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Aparajita Mohanty, Madam, Deputy Director of Academics, and Professor Kshitij Naikade, Deputy Director Administration, for their constant support and guidance. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Sujata Arya and Professor Shivani, who are the LLM admission in charges, and Dr. Tripti Rathi and Professor Akshara Mehla were the in charges of the 3 years admission process for arranging this webinar so effectively and smoothly. A special thanks to Dr. Atmaram Shilke for an unwavering support and guidance. My heartfelt gratitude to the IT team for providing us with all the technical support and logistics and making this webinar a success. Last but not the least, thank you to all the participants and their parents for being a wonderful audience and for asking such important questions in the webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you all team members for a wonderful participation and organizing. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Arya. Thank you.